Hello everyone! It's been a long time since I was last on here. I graduated from high school, I moved across the country to go to college, and I even went abroad to Hong Kong. And I'm now going to go see my friend. So it's been a long time, and I've done a lot of things while I was gone. And today I wanted to make a video about learning Italian. Well, I do have a history of learning languages, so I'll briefly go into that. I can speak English and Korean, those are my native languages, and I learned Spanish for 4 years in high school. Unfortunately, I don't remember much of it because I didn't really study after I graduated, but I do plan on going back and reviewing everything I've learned so that I could gain some extent of fluency in it. I don't want those years to go to waste. I went into college and I studied Chinese while I was there. After about, I would say, a year or so of learning Chinese, I studied abroad and in China to work on my Chinese language abilities and also to do research and I'll eventually do an internship there. After that whole time in China and learning Chinese at school, I got very fluent in Chinese. I was able to finish reading a book in Chinese, which was a huge feat for me. And now I plan on reading this book, which is called Santi, and it's translated to The Three Body Problem, which is also available in English, so I would highly recommend you to read that. It's a really great book. And now I want to learn Italian. Why do I want to learn Italian? Well, truthfully, I actually did spend about 2 or so months learning Italian after I graduated from high school, but I didn't really get to pursue it because once I got into college and I started learning Chinese just took up most of my time along with my other class materials. So Italian became, it was left on the back burner, unfortunately, and I really do want to get back to it. I don't remember much of what I learned from those 2 months from about 2 years ago, almost 2.5 now, but I do want to go back and learn Italian again. And this time I want to do a challenge learning Italian. I don't want to pay for anything, I want to do everything for free. My plan is to learn Italian for free. I don't want to pay for anything, I'm not going to pay for courses, none of that. I'm going to learn Italian on my own and use free resources found either online or at the library. So I went to the library the other day and I picked up some books that I do want to use to supplement for my learning. And I'm going to show them to you right now. So the first book that I picked up is called Italian Demystified, and it's this thick. It has a lot of practices that I can do. So it starts off with saying what the chapter title is, and then it goes off into practices of what it would look like, and then it gives you oral practices and then written practices so that you could practice. It broke it down simply, and so I thought this would be a good resource to start off with. I also picked up these 2 books, and this is from the Practice Makes Perfect series. This one is Complete Italian Grammar, and this one is Italian Conversation. And I wanted to use these books to practice my grammar and also to have conversations with people who speak Italian. So that was the purposes of me picking up these books. Speaking of colloquial Italian, I picked up this book, and it is called Colloquial Italian, The Complete Course for Beginners, and this is from Routledge. And this follows a similar format to the other books, and I wanted to use all 4 of these books to supplement my learning, and I thought that they would be really helpful. And in addition to that, I borrowed this book, which is The Little Prince translated into Italian. For me, I think that reading The Little Prince is really beneficial because it doesn't use difficult vocabulary. It uses pretty commonly used words, and it's translated into many different languages. So every time I learn a new language, I always look to reading The Little Prince in that language because I think it's a nice book, starter book into learning a new language. There's also materials online that I will be using. I will be using YouTube. There are a lot of YouTubers who speak Italian, and I'll be using those resources, and I will also be looking to use phone apps as well. If you have Duolingo, there's that resource. There's also Memrise. I also plan on using podcasts. So I've started listening to Coffee Break in Italian, and I thought that was pretty helpful. For now, I think that's all the resources that I will be using. So there's some audio in there. There's also, if you go to your local library, some local libraries may not have it, but my local library does, and they do have this audio or language learning resource called Pimsleur, and you could borrow it from your local library. So I would highly recommend you check out whatever resources that are available at your library. You may have much more than my library does, or you may have less, but I highly recommend that you go check them out. So I'll be writing everything down in a notebook, and I started actually learning Italian on the 22nd of December. Have it dated here, and I want to just, learn Italian every day. I've been trying to do my best, and so far I've did it every day. I want to see at the end of January how far I've gotten. This is a video just to explain what my plan is for Italian learning. I hope that it helped you or maybe inspire you to learn a language. I plan on doing weekly vlogs to tell you how it's been going with my Italian progress, and maybe even insert clips of me trying to speak Italian. I do think that this will help me motivate myself and also to see how much progress I've made in the past week or whatnot. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you again soon, and goodbye!